you want to learn how to pick the perfect telescope? There are a variety of telescopes who excel at many different objectives. Some are better at viewing near objects such as the moon and planets. Others are best to view distant space, galaxies, and nebulas. For our video presentation, we will be choosing a telescope for the objective of viewing near-Earth objects, like our moon and 8 planets. There are 3 different types of telescopes: refractors, reflectors, and catadioptric. To view the near objects of the moon and planets, we are choosing a refracting telescope because of its benefits in providing contrasty images and because we do not need the light collecting power from the reflector. First is the aperture size. Aperture is the amount of light collecting area a telescope has. The bigger area, the more light is observed in order to make an image. To view planets that are already well lit, we do not need a giant aperture because our image could become overexposed if too much light is collected. For our objective, we are shooting for an aperture of about 70 to 120 millimeters. Aperture is important when calculating a telescope's resolution or the clarity it can portray. The next vital attribute to look at when choosing a telescope is the focal length. This is the length the light travels when it enters the telescope to where we view it through our eyepiece. This component is necessary when calculating magnification. In the end, we are looking for a telescope with a medium-sized aperture, medium-sized focal length, a resolution of about 1 nanometer or less, and easily portable, as well as equipped with star-finding software.
The first telescope we looked at was the Orion Grab-and-Go 80mm triplet refractor. It's a refracting telescope which has an aperture of 80 millimeters, a focal length of 480 millimeters, and when paired with a 10mm eyepiece, has a magnification of 48 times. The focal ratio is f/6, and it has a resolution of 1.45 arcseconds. The telescope prices in around $1,000 and weighs only about 20 pounds, making it very portable for our star parties. It also includes an easy star finder, which is vital to view the planets. The next telescope we looked at was the Black AstroQuest 90mm refractor. It is also a refracting telescope whose aperture is a little bit larger at 90 millimeters. Its focal length is much larger at 1000 millimeters, and when paired with a 10mm eyepiece, has a magnification of 100 times. The focal ratio is f/11.5. The telescope prices in around $250 and is for a beginner scale level. However, it lacks star-finding software. The third telescope we looked at was the Black AstroVenture 80mm computer-controlled refracting telescope. It has an aperture of 80 millimeters, a focal length of 400 millimeters, and when paired again with a 10mm eyepiece, it can view up to 40 times. The focal ratio is f/5 and the resolution is 1.56 arcseconds. The telescope prices in around $290 and is for beginner skill level. It also is equipped with the Go2Nova software. As you can see by the picture, this telescope is also very portable. The Orion ED102T CF triplet apochromatic refractor is a lot more expensive than the other 3 telescopes we have previously looked at. Its aperture of 102 millimeters allows a lot more light to be collected and images of the night sky to be much clearer. The focal length is 714 millimeters and has the ability to magnify 71.4 times. The focal ratio is f/7 and has a resolution of 1.14 arcseconds. The issues with this telescope is it does not come with a stand, nor does it have star-finding software. Finally, the telescope we chose for our star parties was the Orion Skyview apochromatic refractor. Its aperture is much larger at 120 millimeters. The focal length is 1000 millimeters and has the ability to magnify up to 100 times. With these 3 elements, the images of the night sky will be much sharper, much clearer, and easy to see. The resolution is 0.96 arcseconds, which is much smaller than any resolution we've seen so far. The telescope prices in around $1,100. It has an easy finder database and will provide crisp images. It also comes with an azimuth stand as well as many other eyepieces.
In the end, we chose the Orion Skyview Refractor due to its large aperture, great resolution, and computer programs that will help locate the planets easily for our planet parties. In the end, we chose the Orion Skyview Refractor due to its large aperture, great resolution, and computer programs that will help locate the planets easily for our planet parties.